Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. It's really dark in here, apparently. Today we have Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It is the original 20th Century Fox film from 2010. It's an hour and 34 minutes long, and it is based on the Jeff. Dang, I've already forgot the name again. There's a bunch of Jeffs working on this, but his James Jeff Kinney. Jeff Kinney is the author of the books, and he's pretty well involved in this. There's a series of these live action films actually now on Disney Plus, thanks to the acquisition of 20th Century Fox, and also they've created an animated, like a 1 hour kind of movie. Based on the books as well, using the same type of artwork, and that artwork from the books also, like you see here, the very basic line drawing stuff. That some of that some of that artwork makes its way into this film in little additions to the story. It's not the primary thing. You see every once in a while you could see which kid, if you know the books well, if you're a kid who grew up with this, you get to see what the live action character looks like next to their animated version or their cartoon version. So you get a clear understanding of who everybody is. If that matters to you. If not, you don't need to have read the books or understand them or to enjoy them in order to enjoy this film. It's very funny. It shows a 12-year-old kid named Greg. Greg Heffley, and he is he's getting it just horrible advice at every angle, but even more horrible experiences as he enters into junior high, middle school. Just him and his best friend, his best friend is just a kid who still very much a kid, and Greg just wants to. He's been told horror stories by his older brother Roderick, who is a complete jerk, who just menaces him from the start, from the first moment of this film. You know that Roderick is is going to be a problem. There's one of them sequels to this. There's a bunch of these on here. Like I said, I think I said, Roderick Rules apparently is maybe a Roderick focused film. I don't know, but there's a series of these. I don't know if they all are in theaters. Maybe some of them went right to video. I have no idea. But yeah, this film follows Greg and his buddy. What's his name? Come on, what's his buddy's name? Oh, no, that's not him. Come on, did these kids all grow up and get skinny? Yep, they did. Uh, his Rowley. Rowley is his best friend, and they go through a lot. They get a lot of abuse from other school students, and you kind of get these. It's the same kind of story you get with a lot of stories: of coming of age, going to school, to a new school, growing up, entering junior high or high school. You always hear about the cliques, and you hear about the hierarchies, and whether you should try to be cool, be your own person, be noticed, or hide away and don't make any noise. And that's that part is the part that Roderick advises his little brother to do, is to just become invisible, and it'll make things easier. Well, Greg is not exactly one that's very good at staying invisible, whether he likes it or not. So this movie is based on just a series of. I feel like a lot of these feel very vignette like in some of these different scenes because they don't always connect, but it just sort of, one time they're trick or treating, another time they're dealing with oh yeah, they're I mean, some of them crossover obviously, but so they're helping they're being security kids, and they're helping little kids, kindergartners, get from one place to another. They join the wrestling team, but yeah, I mean, these are the kind of things that I imagine if Disney wanted to, they could. Well, maybe that's what they're doing with the animated thing. They could literally make a series of shorts, like 20 minutes or so, and make it a series, and or less, and you have a bunch of animated versions of all these trials and tribulations that Greg and Rowley, just a different name. I'm not used to retaining that. So, yeah, like I said, it's funny. It's got a great cast. The kids are likable. Zachary Gordon plays Greg, and he's yeah, likable, but he's also not just he's a kid who's not just a perpetual victim. Greg is so caught up in protecting himself from the abuse of others that he becomes pretty selfish. He becomes, in a sense, the bad guy in some situations that pushes him and Rowley apart. Among other, just there's so much that actually happens in this thing, and it's there's a lesson to be learned here and there, but it doesn't like hit you over the head with it. It just shows you the the importance of making right choices and putting your friends before yourself. So, and also, this is the only film that I can think of that has cheese as a prominent component of the storytelling. Yes, a piece of Swiss cheese may seem like a very unimportant bit of information towards the beginning of the film. It is not. It is important to the rest of the film. So, Steve Zahn is in this playing his dad. You might know him from That Thing You Do, and I love Suburbia. A lot of people don't, but I do. Richard Linklater film adaptation. His mom is played by Rachel Harris. She's great in this. And there's just a bunch of people throughout this, but none probably as famous right now, I guess, as Chloe Grace Moretz. This is 2010, and she had somewhat of a crazy year. She plays a supporting role in this as a slightly older teenage girl who's, or like maybe an older junior high girl who's been around the block. She understands how things really work, and she just sort of is an observer to Greg's experiences and gives him advice, tells him things here and there, stands in judgment of him at times. But she's not, doesn't seem to be connected. At first I would think that maybe she doesn't really exist. Maybe she's just in his head. But at some point, other characters interact with her beyond him, Greg and Rowley. But but she had a little crazy year 2010 because that's the year Kick-Ass came out. She was also she was a vampire in Let Me In, which is an adaptation of that foreign film, but Let the Right One In. But this one's called Let Me In. Yeah, and so she's this cussing pseudo superhero in Kick-Ass. She's a vampire, and here she is, just a teenage girl in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So this is quite a resume builder. 2010 was quite a resume builder for Chloe Moretz. So yeah, it's I haven't seen these movies before. Friends had actually recommended them to me in the past. It'd be the thing that I'd find funny, and they're right. It is really funny. It's not made for me. It is not made for somebody my age. But I think anybody at any age can really appreciate this or identify with some of the situations that go on. Yes, this is a little bit extreme in some cases, and maybe not so much in others. But in an hour and a half, there's a lot of abuse to cover in just your first year of junior high. At least Greg and Rowley got a lot of it. Like I said, it's fun. It's a great cast. Everybody does a great job. Even, I mean, like, again, I'm usually hard on kids when it comes to acting. Like they have an uncle in the business and they got him cast, and well, now they're a star. And in this case, these kids have chops, and they didn't. I don't think it was. If it was not the only. Having an uncle in the business wasn't the only reason they got cast in this film. They actually have talent. So everybody's really good, and I don't remember. There's a moment in here that says. They're putting on a play for a musical for the Wizard of Oz, and they mentioned that the trees get to throw apples at Dorothy, and that's what pulls Greg into wanting to go. Yeah, I'll be a tree, but I don't remember that in the movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's probably true. It's probably true, but yeah, last time I saw that was at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. And they reopened it. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while. It's probably been 10 years, 12 years. Anyway, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is actually worth it. I'm looking forward to seeing the sequels and eventually the animated version. By the way, I now realize that there was two Diary of a Wimpy Kids on here, and one of them, it wasn't a duplicate. There's actually a live action one and an animated one. Oops. So the live action one, the animated one has now been added to the next quarter. So maybe you'll see it then. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
297.
297. 297. Okay. We're heading documentary territory again. Heading back with Albert Lynn again. We've done some different episodes in the past with Albert Lynn. He travels all over and checks out historic sites as well as interesting nature areas. But a lot of his stuff not just deals with history, but deals with biblical things too. So this will be interesting to see if that's your thing. So we're going to be watching Lost Cities with Albert Lynn, The Great Flood. Yeah, Lost Cities with Albert Lynn, The Great Flood, talking about the flood with Noah and everything. The boat, the ark, the ark. Yeah. So yeah, if that's your thing, we're coming up on Easter next month, so this has nothing to do with Easter, but it's biblical. It's all in that early book in Genesis, right? I don't know. I'll see you back here tomorrow with Lost Cities with Albert Lynn, The Great Flood on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here. Bye.